Imagine consistently doing what you think makes your partner happy, only to find they still feel unfulfilled. Folks, that can be frustrating and heartbreaking. The truth is, what makes you feel loved and supported might be completely different for your spouse. And it probably is. So today, we're unlocking the secret to bridging that gap. Get ready. We're going to learn how to have a powerful and open conversation that will allow you to discover what your partner truly needs and pave the way for a more connected and loving marriage. Welcome back, Uplifting Life Partners, to Marriage Mastery Uplifters Podcast, Cultivating Extraordinary Connections, the podcast dedicated to helping you build a stronger, more joyful, and resilient marriage. I'm your host, Ron Simplified Myers. Let's ignite possibilities together. Well, this is our Marriage Builder Sunday episode, and today we're diving into the conversation about understanding your partner's core needs in the relationship, openly discussing what makes each of you feel loved and supported. That's some work right there. So understanding your partner, their deepest needs, we know it's important for a feeling of feeling loved and supported because it ensures that your efforts are meaningful and directly address their emotional well-being. When you know what truly makes your partner feel cared for, you can tailor your actions. This way, you're more effective and you avoid the big M, miscommunication. So here's a breakdown of why this understanding is so important. You can provide the right kind of support. See, because not everyone is supported in the same way. One person, they might feel loved by a partner who listens without offering solutions, while another, they might need someone to actively help them solve their problems. So knowing their specific needs, it allows you to offer support that genuinely resonates with them rather than just guessing. It builds trust and safety. When a person feels truly seen and understood by their partner, they develop a sense of emotional security. They learn that they can be vulnerable and the partner will meet them with empathy and care. It creates a safe space where the relationship, it can prosper, it can grow. It prevents resentment. If you're putting in a lot of effort, but your partner doesn't feel loved, or if you feel like you're not getting what you need from them, resentment, oh yeah, it can easily build. This happens when the actions and the intentions, they don't align with the actual needs. So understanding these needs, it helps you both feel that your contributions are valued and that you're working toward the same goal. It deepens intimacy. Moving beyond surface level interactions to understand your partner's core needs, it's a way of saying, I care about all of you. Again, not just the easy parts. It creates a powerful, intimate bond that strengthens the relationship over time. So let's talk about how assuming you know your partner's needs, it can be a subtle but powerful source of conflict, leading to unmet expectations and feelings of disconnect. While it often comes from a place of good intentions, it bypasses the crucial step of actually listening and observing. So here's a breakdown of how this can happen. Number one, the I'm doing everything right trap. When you assume you know what your partner needs, you often operate from a script you've written in your head. You might be doing all the things you believe a good partner should do. You know those things like bringing home flowers, offering a listening ear, making up a little dinner. But if those aren't the things that genuinely resonate with your partner, your efforts, they can feel meaningless to them. Now, this creates a confusing and frustrating dynamic where you feel like you're putting in all this work and they ain't no appreciation. And they feel like their true needs, they're invisible. Number two, the mismatch of love languages. Now, here's a classic of this concept of love language, which I know most of you have heard about. You might show love through acts of service, like doing chores for them. But your partner, their primary love language, it might be words of affirmation. Using this scenario, you can spend all weekend cleaning the house believing you're demonstrating your love. While your partner, they're silently yearning for a simple, I'm proud of you. Now, both people trying to show love, but their efforts are getting lost in the translation, leading to a profound sense of not being seen or understood. Number 3, the erosion of communication. When you assume you know your partner's needs, you stop asking questions. You might stop checking in, having deep conversations, or even asking for a simple, how was your day? With genuine curiosity. This lack of communication, it can cause a relationship to become stagnant and one-dimensional. Without a constant dialogue, you lose the opportunity to learn and grow together. Number 4, the feeling of being misunderstood. For the persons whose needs are being assumed, it can feel incredibly lonely and isolating. They might feel like they have to pretend that your gestures are working. Or they might try to communicate their needs only to feel dismissed because you're already so certain of what's best for them. It creates a deep sense of disconnect where they feel like you love an ideal of them, but not the real person. Number 5, it's the cycle of resentment. Over time, this dynamic, it can lead to a vicious cycle of resentment. You might feel bitter that your hard work isn't being appreciated, while your partner, they feel resentment that they're not getting what they truly need from the relationship. This unspoken tension can cause a void to form, and it becomes increasingly difficult to bridge because neither person feels safe or understood enough to have an honest conversation about it. So in short, assuming, get that word out of there, you know your partner's needs creates a relationship based on assumptions rather than a foundation of open communication and genuine understanding. It's a subtle form of emotional neglect that can slowly chip away at the intimacy and connection that are essential for a healthy partnership. Now, what I want to do, I want to step back here for a second. On our previous episodes, we talked about self-reflection to identify your core needs in a relationship. These are crucial that you understand so your partner doesn't have to assume. You can bring clarity into your conversation. So if you haven't completed it yet, here's a quick list of the different categories, the needs that you need to get very crystal clear so you know where you stand. Is it affection and physical touch? How about the hugs, holding hands, intimacy? What does it look like? Quality time and attention. Is it undivided focus, shared activities, meaningful conversations? Is it words of affirmation and appreciation, where there's verbal compliments, expressions of love, encouragement? Is it acts of service and helpfulness, like doing things for each other, showing support through actions? Or is it gifts and tokens of love, thoughtful presence, small gestures of care? Or emotional support and understanding, where there's empathy, validation of feelings, a safe space to share? How about respect and admiration? Is it acknowledging each other's strengths and opinions? Or is it growth and encouragement, supporting each other's personal and professional goals? Now, you might want to pause here, go back through this list and prioritize them for yourself. And the ones that are not significant, remove them. You don't have to keep them in there, but be very, very clear what's at the top of that list so that you can express them. You know what? Because this information is so important and we are family, I'm going to put the list in the bio of the show. How you like me now? All right. So let's jump into facilitating the conversation with your partner. We know having a conversation about what you and your partner need to feel loved and supported is one of the most important things you can do for your relationship. But bringing it up, oh yeah, it can be intimidating. So here's a guide to help you initiate and navigate this powerful discussion with grace and clarity. Number 1, create a safe and intentional space. The environment you choose, it can set the tone and probably will for the entire conversation. Avoid trying to have this talk on the fly. Definitely don't do it during a heated argument or when one of you is distracted. Schedule a time. Treat this conversation like an important meeting because it is. Set aside 30 to 45 minutes on a weekend morning after a relaxed dinner or on a walk together. Make sure you remove all the distractions. Yes, that means put that phone away. Turn off the TV. Make sure you won't be interrupted. Your undivided attention shows your partner that their feelings matter. Choose a neutral setting, a quiet space in your home, a park bench, a cozy cafe. This can help both of you feel more at ease than a high stress location like in a car. During rush hour, that ain't a good time to do it. Number 2, initiate with a gentle opening. The way you start the conversation, it's crucial. Instead of jumping right in with your list of needs, use a gentle opening that invites your partner into the discussion. Lead with those familiar, as we all know, the I statements. Frame the conversation around your own feelings and a desire for deeper connection. For example, I've been thinking about what makes each of us truly feel loved in our relationship, and I love to talk to you about it. Make sure you avoid blame. Stay clear of phrases like, you're always, you never. Instead, say, I've noticed I feel more supported when, and make sure you give them an out. You want this to be a voluntary discussion. You can say, if now isn't a good time, let's schedule a time in the next few days to talk about it. Number 3, share your needs with vulnerability. When it's your turn to share, be open and vulnerable. Remember, you are communicating your needs. This is not making demands. And again, we're using the I feel statements. As we all know, this is the golden rule of sharing. I feel cherished when you leave me a note in the morning. It's much more effective than you never appreciate me. Be specific and provide examples. Don't just say, I need more emotional support. Well, explain what that looks like for you. I feel supported when I can vent about a tough day without you trying to fix the problem right away. Frame this as an ongoing discussion, not a one-time negotiation. You're not presenting a list of things your partner is failing to do. Number 4, practice active listening and validations. This, again, is perhaps one of the most important parts of the conversation. When your partner's sharing, your job is to listen, not to formulate your response or defend yourself. You're listening to understand, not to respond. Pay attention to their words, their tone, their body language. Put your own needs aside for a moment to truly hear them. Yes, I'm talking to me. Validate their feelings, even if you don't fully understand or agree. Acknowledge their experience. Use phrases like, thank you for sharing that with me, or that makes a lot of sense. Ask clarifying questions. Show you're engaged by asking questions that deepen your understanding, such as, can you tell me more about what that feels like for you? Or when you say support, what does that look like in a practical way? Again, some of these things are things you guys have heard in past podcasts, but we're making sure you get this. Avoiding assumptions. It's a crucial part of listening, as it reminds you to approach the conversation with an open mind and not rely on what you think your partner will say. Remember, assuming you guys know how that word is broken down. I'm not going to do it here on camera. Number 5, finding common ground. After you've both shared your needs and listened with empathy, it's time to move toward a collaborative solution. This is where you find ways to meet each other's needs without anyone feeling like they are losing something. It's not the ideal. Discuss how to find ways to meet each other's needs. This is not a problem-solving session. This is not a negotiation. The goal is to work together as a team to find a solution that makes both of you feel loved and supported. And you might find that your core needs, they're not actually in conflict. For example, one partner needs quality time and the other needs more emotional support. How about a date night to a quiet restaurant where you can talk deeply and connect? Voila! We met both needs at once. Make sure you emphasize that small efforts, they do make an impact. Often, the most powerful changes come from small, consistent efforts. A simple thinking of you That text message, it can meet the needs of affirmations. How about a partner who needs the physical touch? They might appreciate a hand on their back as they walk past. These small, intentional actions, they build on each other. They start creating a sense of being consistently loved and appreciated without you having to make a major shift in your lifestyle. How about number 6? Making it an ongoing practice. This is not a one and done. This is not one of those we had it, it's over with. It needs to evolve, and new challenges, they're going to arise. Welcome to the real world. Schedule regular check-ins. Consider a monthly State of the Union date where a night where you can check in on each other's needs and how you're both feeling. And make sure during this process, celebrate small wins. When your partner makes an effort to meet one of your core needs, acknowledge and appreciate it. This positive reinforcement, again, it encourages them to continue. By following these strategies, you can turn a potentially difficult conversation into a powerful opportunity for growth, intimacy, and a deeper, more fulfilling connection. So now we've gotten to the point where we're going to address potential challenges. Conversations about core needs, while powerful, they sometimes bring up vulnerabilities or hit a roadblock. This is completely normal, and it doesn't mean your relationship's in trouble. It simply means you're doing the deep, important work. Here's a look at some of the common challenges and how to handle them with grace and understanding. So what do you do if one of your partner, they're just hesitant to share? Folks, whether you know it or not, this is a common scenario. You're ready to open up, but your partner, they hesitant or they just shut down. This isn't necessarily a sign they don't care. It's often rooted in a fear of vulnerability, a lack of experience with this kind of communication, or simply not knowing what their own needs are. They didn't do the work we talked about earlier. Don't apply pressure. As you continue pushing your partner, it'll only make them retreat further. Instead of demanding they share, you can say, there's no pressure at all. I just want you to know I'm ready to listen whenever you are. Make sure you reiterate the safe space. Remind them that this is a judgment-free zone. Emphasize there are no right or wrong answers. Or you can just lead by example. A great way to encourage sharing is to do it first. By openly and vulnerably sharing your own needs, you're showing them how it's done and that it's safe to do so. Here's a way to start. Start small. If a big, deep conversation is too much, start with smaller, less intimidating questions. You could ask, what was the highlight of your day? Or, what's one thing I did this week that made you smile? So how to navigate these conflicting needs? What if your needs seem to be in direct opposition to one of your partners? For example, what if one of you actually needs alone time, while the other one needs more quality time together? Now that sounds like a conflict, and it isn't a deal breaker. It's a call for creative problem solving. That's better. Validate both needs first. Before you jump into a solution, make sure both of you feel heard. You can say, I hear how important alone time is for you. I also know how much I need time together to feel connected. Focus on the underlying feeling. Instead of getting stuck on the specific action, explore the feelings behind it. The partner needing alone time might be craving mental rest, while the one needing quality time might be craving security. Could you find a way to meet both of those needs? Perhaps a quiet evening spent reading side by side, or a walk where you can chat without a lot of pressure. The key is brainstorm creative solutions. Work as a team to find a third option. Maybe the need for quality time can be met with a short intentional chat every day, every night. And the need for alone time can be honored on Saturday afternoons. This is about finding win-win solutions, not one person compromising to their own detriment. Now, let me share a quick example while we're here, because I know we all hear that relationships are about sacrificing. I prefer a different perspective, a different thought process. The concept of sacrifice, to me, it means that someone wins and someone loses. I don't believe that's healthy inside of your relationship. You should always work on compromising. It should always be a win-win situation, as we just mentioned. See, I have a friend. They don't like to shop at all, but their partner, their wife, Oh man, she enjoys it. She loves it. At the same time, she wants her husband to shop with her because that's the time they can spend together. They can get some lunch and continue to shop. Well, the husband, he realized by being a person that enjoys people watching, this is that perfect opportunity because who's shopping? People. So while his wife is shopping and using him as a human hanger for the clothes she was gonna buy, or she's just trying on, he's sitting there watching people in the store and he's just having a good time. He's laughing and watching them. When she came out of the dressing room, he just shared some of the stories about the people, the things he saw, and they just had a good old time laughing, and both people achieved their desired outcomes, a win-win scenario. Now let's take the same scenario. You've seen the husband that's sitting with his hands crossed and he's frustrated. He's always looking at his watch and asking her, can you get what you need so we can leave? Now in this scenario, she's feeling pressured. She knows he doesn't want to be there, and it makes shopping unpleasant for her. So in this case, he may win because they leave sooner than she wants to, but she's not achieving that which she desires because he felt he was sacrificing. Now, I'm not saying you have to do everything together. There are things you really would prefer not doing. Those are the times where you figure out a win-win, where one partner shops while the other partner plays golf, goes hang out with the fellas or the ladies or whatever. These are individual times that a lot of people want and they feel they need. The point here is to make sure it's a win-win scenario so that no one is sacrificing and feeling as if they are losing. So let's cover the importance of patience and understanding. Because again, these aren't one-time conversations, it's ongoing practice. Patience is a key ingredient for success. Understand change takes time. You can't expect decades of communication habits to change overnight. Be patient with your partner and with yourself. There will be days when you forget or you fall back into the old patterns. That's okay. Let empathy be our guide. Empathy is your guide. Remember, your partner's journey is different than yours. Their needs are valid because they're their needs. So approaching the conversation with empathy, it'll prevent you from getting stuck. My way or the highway mindset. And unfortunately, in some cases, you might have to figure out when to seek professional help. Sometimes, despite your best efforts, communication remains a major hurdle. If you find these conversations consistently, they evolve into arguments, or if you feel a sense of hopelessness or fear when trying to talk, it may be time to seek professional guidance. A skilled therapist or relationship counselor, they can act as a neutral third party, helping to facilitate conversations and provide you with tools to communicate effectively. Seeking help is a sign of strength and commitment to your relationship. It's not a sign of failure. It's a powerful way to get the support you need to navigate these deep waters and build a lasting connection. Don't listen to anyone who tries to tell you to stay away from getting help. So as we wrap up today's episode, I want to leave you with a clear path forward. We talked a lot about the power of understanding your partner's core needs and how open communication can transform your relationship from guesswork to genuine connection. But knowledge is only half the battle. The real magic, it happens when you put it into practice. So here's my challenge for you this week. What I want you to do is I want you to schedule the conversation. Don't let this be another one of those episodes that you just listen to without taking any action. Take out your calendar right now and schedule a time with your partner within the next 7 days to talk about this. Make it a dedicated, distraction-free time. And before you get together, start with self-reflection. Before you have that conversation, take a moment to reflect on your own, which we talked about the list. What are your top 3 core needs to feel truly loved and supported in your relationship? It can be a simple act of service, a word of affirmation, a few moments of undivided attention. By knowing your own needs, you'll be ready to share and listen with clarity. Remember, this is a journey. This is not a destination. These conversations, they're not just about fixing problems. They're about building a stronger, more joyful, more resilient foundation. By choosing to understand and meet each other's needs, you are creating a partnership where you both feel seen, cherished, and deeply connected. Thank you for tuning in. We'll be back next week for another Marriage Builder Sunday. Until then, keep building, keep loving, and keep mastering marriage one intentional step at a time. So for more exclusive training, deeper dives, behind the scenes content, our books, video series, and the Simplified Uplifters apparel, that's our online clothing store, make sure you download the Simplify You app today. It's your one-stop shop for all of our resources inside of Google Play or the Apple Store. Or you can visit the website, simplifieduplifters.net, which is actually a duplication of the app. The information will also be in the bio of the show. If you found value in today's episode, we would also appreciate you sharing this and the podcast itself with those that you know need to hear this. If you haven't already subscribed to Marriage Mastery Uplifters podcast, make sure you do so you don't miss our upcoming Self-Love Wednesday. Well, we'll explore more individual areas to strengthen your journey towards self-love. Now, thanks again for joining me on this transformative Marriage Builder Sunday. And until next time, nurture your soul, protect your energy, be kind to yourself, and build the marriage of your dreams. Most important, remember your power. You are extraordinary.